Hi guys. Sorry. In last video we have seen inheritance and type of inheritance. What are the use of inheritance and how we'll implement types of inheritance. So in this video we are going to see encapsulation. What encapsulation is, how we implement the encapsulation, and why we are implementing encapsulation. So suppose in real time, suppose we are going to manage some student teacher data. So whatever project is there that is related to a college or something, in which there is one entity, user, a student as well as teacher also. So suppose we have to transmit, basically we have to transfer the data of a student as well as teacher also, any of these. So how will create the class for a student one? So usually we create class something like this easily, but all the property that a student have, like int roll number, string name, string branch, string address, long phone, and all things whatever you want to add, that you can add. So these all property, if in the same package, suppose we have another class test and we want to, this is main class, so just comment the old code, and we want to access this property like address, so we can easily access that class address. Okay, this is default package. So this property will be easily accessible from outside. How it will be accessible? Let me show you. So this class basically, so this class is extending a student. Now this address is available to this guy. What happening? Yeah, so this property, all this property can be accessible outside of this class also without creating object of this class. So let's try to access. So create a function, and simply I'm printing the data. So let's try to print roll number. So as we can see, roll number is not defined in this class. In test class, roll number is not defined, but we can access this roll number without creating object of a student, and this roll number is there in the student class. So this type of declaration we don't do usually. Reason why we don't do, because we restrict everything. We can't, basically if you want to use the data of a student, you have to create the object of a student, then only you can create the object, get the data of this student. Because if you try to access this one, this will basically break the data security, Without creating the object, it can access their data, so it will break the data security. So that's why we use encapsulation. Encapsulation means basically we will restrict. If someone will want to access the data of a student, he has to create the object, then only he can access. Even after creating also, suppose he has created the object like this, yeah, so suppose he created the object. After creating the object also, he should not access data something like this directly. Object name, object name, and then the property name. No, he should not access like this. If you want to access, he had to go through a certain way. So how that will do? So whatever property we will create in a class, we keep all property as a private. So if I'll change this property to private, now if we'll see here, this one is throwing error. Reason it's saying ki roll number, either change it to protected. Protected means it can be accessible to their child class. No, we won't allow to access even from child also. So that's why we'll keep this as a private. Not only this, all the property that will be there in any class, all property will be private. Now if you might thinking, then how will get this, how will access this data? So I will show you how we'll access this data outside of this class. So all property will be there. Now if we'll try to get the data, so for that we do something like get the data. Public will return a string. Okay, firstly let's do int, public int, and then get roll number. So if you will see, there is a pattern. This get is by default, it's a small get, a small letter. So this get, if you want to fetch the data for this student, firstly you need to create the object, and then you have to call this function that is there inside this class, get. So if you will see this this function name have one pattern. So get will be by default for all the getting data, and this roll number is basically that property, this property name. So first letter here it's a small, so only first letter will be changed as a capital, rest everything will be same, and this will return the data. So how it will return? This dot roll number. So now it's done. So now if you want to access this data, what we have to do? Firstly we need to create the object, and once you have created the object, then you can't access the data. So since we have changed all this property as a private, it won't be visible from outside. And if you want to access the data, you have to call like this, get roll number, then you will get the roll number. If you want to set the data, for that you have to write one function, yeah. So now if you want to set the data, even you want to set the data, you have to create the object, and then only you can set the data, so benefit of doing like this, suppose you have created a student class and you want to set the roll number that will start from 100 only. There is no roll number less than 100. So roll number itself will start from 100, 101 and 102. So here in this function you can write the validation also. So if you want to put some validation either while setting the data I want to validate some data, so you can put that validation here also. So this is the way we can access. So now let's what is this. So what it's doing, encapsulation basically data hiding, it providing one layer over the data. So these all are data, so it will provide one layer of class to get the data. So that this is called encapsulation. So encapsulation basically we can say कि encapsulation means data hiding. So here we will say we are clearly hiding the data from outside. If someone wants to access the data, definitely he should have the object, then only he can access the data. Apart from that, here we are using this validation things. So you can say कि this encapsulation is completely a combination of data hiding as well as abstraction. So in one liner I have told in first of the OOPS concept कि encapsulation is something like a detail hiding. We want to hide the detail, we don't want to show the details how we are working. So what will someone try to set the data from here, someone try to set the data, he don't even know. Suppose once I will set the data, what will happen? Simply he knows okay I have to set the data, I have to call this function and pass the data what actually we whatever data we want to set, that he will do. But internally what we are doing, internally we are doing some validation, then only we are allowing either this data will be setted or not. So this is called abstraction. That will go that abstraction will go in detail. So this encapsulation is basically data hiding plus data abstraction. So this is complete abstraction. Let's create a so I'm not going to write all the function of this getter and setter. So what we'll do, IDE basically Eclipse has provides to some tools to generate this getter setter. So what we will do, simply generate this getter setter. So source and then generate getter and setter. We'll select all the fields and then automatically it will generate. So if you'll see, it has generated like here our property name is name, that is n is small, but automatically it added get and n is capital, it has added similar to this. So this I have written this manually, so I have provided this dot this roll number. Even you will not provide this return the this dot roll number, that is also okay. Automatically it will be pointing the current object only, so there is no issue. So here we will say while setting the data he is using the this, while returning the data he is not using this, that is not an issue. So this is setter and getter. Apart from that, if you usually what we do, we are restricting to create the object, means basically no one by default if you not create this a student class I have created, so automatically constructor how it will create. So Java by default provides the constructor, default constructor. If you have not written any constructor, then only, suppose I have written a constructor, let's write down the constructor. So this is the signature of constructor. So if you have not written any constructor, Java will automatically provide one default constructor. Default constructor means there is no parameter. So let's provide one parameterized constructor, then we'll see. Yeah, so we have provided one parameterized constructor. Now we'll try to see here, this one is throwing error because Java is saying okay, if you have not written any constructor, then I will provide you one default constructor, that is without parameter. But if you will write down the parameterized constructor also, I'm not going to entertain you, I'm not going to provide you any default constructor. You have to implement the default constructor also if you want to use. Reason for that, yeah, so reason for that, basically what is the use of constructor? Constructor is used to initialize the property. So if you are writing the parameterized constructor, it means you are providing the way to initialize the initialize the property. So why, what is the use of this one? Firstly we'll create the object and then we are going to set this. Rather than doing this directly, we'll provide here and it's done. Means while creating the object only you are providing all the data and that initialization is automatically done. So that's why Java is not providing default constructor. But in case you want some scenario you want default constructor as well as parameterized constructor both. So in that scenario you have to write the constructor, not Java. So in that scenario you have to provide something like this. Either you are writing any line of code or not, you can, if you want, you can write on this super. So automatically it will call that object class. Even you not write, if you won't write this line, that's also okay, completely okay. So this is the way we create parameterized constructor, default constructor and getter setter method. Apart from that, if you are writing, this is basically, this class is called model class. So if we'll go in the MVC layer, basically a Spring one, so there is one called model class, model. So this is the model. This is basically used, this class is being used to transmit the data, or means basically communication of data. So how it will be used, that I will show you. So this one now I have implemented. Now okay, let's try to implement the parameterized constructor proper. So I'm not going to write down that also, you can say I'm too lazy. So ID, basically Eclipse will provide this way to write down the constructor using fields. So simply do this one, select all. Okay, you might saying ki I'm suggesting you to use Notepad and me itself using Eclipse. But if you will go in company, no one is going to say you have to write down project, you have to write down the code in Notepad and Notepad++. They will directly provide you any ID. So because they don't want to waste the time, but I am suggesting you to use the Notepad, and reason for that, you should learn. So this is the student constructor I have created. Now I am going to create the student class. So let's, roll number is something like this, roll number Ram. This is not a phone number. Yeah, so this object now created. Now suppose we want to call some method. So in that method I'm not going to pass by fetching each of the parameter of this one. So suppose I want to process some data, okay, print a student. So print a student will take something like okay, oh sorry, so this one print will take the object that is of a student type and it will print. It will print the data. So let's try to run this. What it printing actually? Oh, we have not called this. So in this class, all this function itself is written in the same class, but in real time there are lots of functions, series of function you have to call, and that all function belongs from different class. So that's why we are passing, simply we will pass the object, and that then if you want to do something, then here you have to do a student dot get name or get a roll number or all that things, and then whatever logic you want to perform, that you can do. So let's run it. It's printing something like this. This is hash code. So hash code of a student. So usually it advised कि whenever you are writing any class, so you should use getter, setter, constructor. Apart from that, you have to implement your own toString. The toString, basically toString is used to print the data in formatted way. If you are printing, it's showing ki okay, this is the class name @ and this is the address, their address, basically in memory address. If you are aware about C, so it uses some address. So this is the address it's printing. So by default this toString is being called from object class. So if you'll go inside object class, they have written toString implementation is something like firstly they are printing class name, then @ and then address. So but if we will print this data to anywhere, no one will understand what actually this is, me or you. If we are a developer, as a developer we know ki okay, this is the class name, this is the address name, but end user, if you will print this data to end user, no one is going to understand what actually this is. So that's why what we do, we implement our own toString. So this toString will have data in formatted way. So now this one I have implemented, basically it's a overloading method, overloading. So now we will try to print the same thing. Now we can say कि whatever data we are printing, that is in basically human readable format. It's saying कि okay, a student is a class, or for roll number this is data, for name this is data, branch this is data, address and phone number, these all are the data. So that's why it is advised if you are going to write model basically it's a this is the one entity that is being used. So getter, setter, constructor and toString, this is the basic one. Apart from that also you have to do, even you want to add the validation, you can put that validation. If you don't want to use, still you should use getter, setter method. So this is the way we use it. If we'll whenever we'll go in the top level like a Spring Boot, then we'll see what is the use of this and why we are using like this model, what is model and why we are implementing like this. So that will be helpful. I hope ki encapsulation you got it. What is encapsulation, why we implement encapsulation? Why we implement encapsulation? Because we don't want to allow anyone to access their data directly. And how we are implementing, this is the way how we are implementing the encapsulation. And what is the encapsulation? Encapsulation basically it's a data hiding. So whatever data is there, my data is roll number, my data is name, branch, address, phone, all this data, and this one I want to hide. Basically I will provide one layer of this. So if someone will try to access, he should have to extend this sorry, not extend, create the object of this class, and then only he can access. Through object only he can access. Apart from that also, through object only he can update the data. So that's why we use encapsulation. Hope this is clear to you. In next video we will see abstraction, what abstraction is, why abstraction is needed, and how abstraction is being implemented. So thank you guys for this video.